My name is Randy Rubenstein, and welcome to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast. At Mastermind Parenting, we're on a mission to support strong-willed kids and the families that love them. Hi, everyone. How are you this week? I have a topic this week where I was inspired by a mom that I coached recently, and she brought a topic and she said, this is really such a silly little thing. It's nothing, but it's this thing that keeps happening, and it's kind of annoying. And I'm not going to tell you all about that scenario because I'm actually going to share the coaching back and forth between me and her husband, because I think it's such a good example of when we think something's not, you're like, I don't even want to waste anyone's time. But when we check in with ourselves, we're like, but this thing, it's really freaking annoying. And we sort of gaslight ourselves like, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't really matter. It's so tiny. Other people have real issues. And for this mom who's in my groups where she hears people that have much bigger issues, she hears scenarios where there's people who have teenagers that are really struggling. And this is a mom who has younger kids. I think her oldest is maybe like 8. She's also kind of a like, my life is so good. Just like a grateful, positive, upbeat human. And so I know when she speaks up, even though it's something that's a little deal, it's something that's bothering her. It's something that's causing tension. She's feeling annoyed inside. And so I was really pausing for applause for her more than anything, that she spoke up, that she raised her hand, that she listened to herself, that even though this might be a tiny itsy bitsy topic, the feelings in her body were not to be dismissed. When we feel annoyed with our kids and the behavior that's annoying us never seems to get better, or it's just continuing to intensify, so we know that the way we're handling it doesn't seem to be working, or we don't know how to handle it, so we're just not handling it. When you learn to listen to how you feel, and you don't dismiss yourself and you don't gaslight yourself, which I think it's easy for many of us to dismiss ourselves or gaslight ourselves, because chances are somewhere along the way we had feelings of annoyance or frustration or anger or whatever, and it was we experienced gaslighting. Somebody either tried to convince us that we shouldn't feel that way, that they, whatever happened, the person that we were having the feelings around when we were younger didn't know how to hold those feelings. And so now, and I have done this myself over the years, like I realized only in the last few years, like I was like, wow, I was raised with a lot of gaslighting, and I gaslight the shit out of myself a lot. Like, come on, settle down. It's not that big of a deal. But when you're annoyed with someone, it's hard to show up. Like, it's faking it. When you're annoyed with someone, they know you're annoyed with them. Like, none of us are great actors. And people can feel that energy. Like, when you're with someone and they're kind of in a mood and you're thinking, I wonder if it's me. Because you feel their mood, even when they don't say, like, look, I'm super annoyed with you. Most of us are like, I wonder if they're annoyed with me. So when we're annoyed with our kids, they know that we're annoyed with them. So I thought that this little thing, right, which wasn't such a little thing, because mom feeling annoyed with her kid, and there's a behavior that is consistently showing up that is annoying her, right? Like, that is a bigger thing. Feeling annoyed with your kid, or feeling on a regular basis like you just don't like them, or they're getting on your nerves all the time, or it's hard to see them in a positive light. Like, those feelings, they matter. They matter. And so I thought that this might be just the thing that you needed. And if you're dealing with little things or big things, I think the main message I want to convey here is the body doesn't lie, and your body is always whispering to you. And so, whatever emotion you are feeling, it is valid. And there's more to the story. There's something more to figure out. There's something more to figure out. There's a different way to either look at it. There's something to get curious about. There's a conversation to be had. There's something to figure out. So have a listen to this little teeny tiny coaching scenario with this mom. And I think you're going to relate. I really think you're going to relate to it.
Evan and I have kind of a interesting question about something that keeps occurring with Charlotte and just how we should approach the topic with her. Charlotte likes to hide things, and it's happened several times. I read Harry Potter with Sam at night, and one time when we were reading Harry Potter, we could not find the book. And I was like, where did it go? Where did it go? I ended up buying another first book. We couldn't find it. I found it like months later, and she had hid it. And she hid something else of Sam's before, and we had to use our Nest cams to replay the footage. And then we saw Charlotte, I don't remember what it was a long time ago, take the item and hid it. And we were like, okay, go look in the tent, based on the Nest cam footage. Or she'll hide things from Elizabeth. Today we were looking for another item. We're like, can't find it. Something of Elizabeth's, and found it behind the couch. My hunch is that this is attention-seeking behavior, or she just thinks it's funny or fun, but it's real annoying, looking for stuff. And we've told her before, stop doing that. So I'm kind of going in my head, okay, how can I approach this to have a productive conversation? So I'm thinking, tell me if this is right or what you would do. I just kind of want to pick your brain a little, is, have the conversation with her, do the SAP, I guess, see her perspective. I noticed, Charlotte, we noticed you've been hiding things. I just wanted to learn more about, how come you're doing that? Is it fun doing that? Do you like doing that? I'm not sure. And then hear what she has to say, active listening. Oh, okay. So, you think it's fun, or maybe you get jealous. I don't know if she'd even be able to vocalize that. And then problem solve another way, maybe that she could, whatever, she says it is, that she could either get her needs met or get attention or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But if you have a different idea, or you kind of have a hunch, maybe this behavior is happening for a different reason, I'd love to hear it. So anyway, it's kind of a different problem, but I'm not sure what's behind it. But it's she's hit it 4 or 5 things to where it's getting annoying. Sometimes we've been late somewhere before, so we haven't found it. And she won't fess up to either. We're Charlotte, you know where that is? She's like, no, don't know. It's oh my goodness. So anyways, silly little girl.
Oh, kids. They always do something for a reason. So I want to just pause for applause at you doing your detective work. I know there's got to be a reason. How do we get to the bottom of this? How do we figure this out? What need is she trying to get met? Maybe it's attention. I wonder what need. So, productive conversations it really is our roadmap for, so, they're always collaborative when they're truly the most productive. We find out information that we didn't know ahead of time. And I think this is where many parents get it wrong. It's almost like they use productive conversations as sort of manipulative empathy, but they really don't have empathy. They're not really curious. They just want to make it stop. But if we bring curiosity into it, isn't it interesting? Kids turn things into a game. So this has become a game of hide and go seek with objects, right? Or she's creating her own little scavenger hunt. There's something gamey about this. And she's doing it for a reason. This is where, when you sit down with her, if you really aren't charged about it and you come into it with curiosity, who knows? Interesting. I'm going to sit down with her and see what I can find out. That's the beautiful thing about little kids, is when we don't have a pretend empathetic agenda, but really it's control and manipulation. But when we are truly curious, they will feel that authenticity. They will sense it. And they're so literal and they're so honest. They tell on themselves. They'll tell you all the things. When we take a guess at things, it's because we've got a kid that's shut down. They're in a defensive state. But if we have a kid that is generally connected, attached, isn't in shutdown, isn't in freeze mode, if we have like a kid that is in a state of being regulated in their body and their nervous system, and we sit down with curiosity. Hey, I noticed this little hide and go seek game you keep playing. I don't know, or it's like a scavenger hunt. Like, tell me more about that. What's going on? And if she's defensive, you got to back it up. And if you truly are curious about it, you back it up and you're like, you're not in trouble, babe. I just noticed that you keep hiding little things or playing a little game with us, but we don't realize you're playing a game. And then, games are supposed to be fun. It ends up not being that fun, but I want to understand more about this game, or more about, if it's not a game, why you're doing it. I'm your mommy. You can tell me anything. You're not in trouble. You're a creative little kid. I just want to understand this little amazing brain and how it works. That's all. And so see what she tells you. And because there has been a lot of sibling rivalries, specifically between her and Sam, it very well may be, well, when Sam reads Harry Potter, you stay with him longer than you stay with me. Oh, you see, so here, yeah, you see, it feels unfair. You want to stay up and do those things, and you were feeling maybe a little jealous. Super normal, babe. I know you're a sweet girl and a sweet sister. You just want special time too. Okay. You don't have to hide Sam's book to get your special time. Maybe it's time that you're growing up. Maybe you're ready to start, having us read some chapter books with you. Or maybe you want to start, I don't know, you just problem solve with her. What sounds fun? What sounds good? Okay, so your bedtime is 7:30, but you want special time. What might be good? What do you think? It's kind of rush in the evening to get your body the rest that you need. What if our special time reading together was at a different time during the day? How would that feel? We're letting our kids know, we can talk about anything. Everything's figure outable. And you're showing her how to get her needs met in a way that doesn't have her being sneaky and annoying, really. Because I guarantee you, girls or anybody that learns to get their attention needs met through being sneaky and annoying, you can translate what that looks like in middle school or upper elementary school. So this is a really good opportunity to help her learn some new skills to get her needs met. And that you're a mama and she can talk to you about anything. Let me know if you have questions about that.
I have a quick little update for y'all. My conversation with Charlotte about the hiding went really, really well yesterday. So I was happy about that. I approached it just kind of, with curiosity and interest, where she wouldn't think she was in trouble, just like we talked about. And she said, yeah, that she thinks it's kind of fun to hide things in a game. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so fun to play a game. I love hide and go seek. That's, such a great game. Let's think of a way. What do you think we could do? Let's think of a way where we could hide something, but not something important like mommy's phone, where, then mommy's late where she needs to go, or we can't, we have to spend money and buying a book again that we already had, instead of using that money to do something, different for our family. And so she came up with the idea all on her own. She would like some rainbow yarn, like a cat plays with, she said, and she wants to hide that rainbow yarn. So I was like, great, amazing. That's such a good idea. Every time you can hide it, and every time I find it, I'll think of you and laugh and smile. And oh my gosh, she's so fun. How did she think of that hiding spot? That was so creative. So she ate it up with a spoon, and she wants to go with me to get the yarn. So we're going to go to Joann's this weekend and pick out some rainbow yarn. So anyways, I'm glad I investigated that. It was kind of a problem that I was like, is this Mastermind? Like, do I need to get advice on this? But it had happened so much that it's just kind of a neat example of something like little that I could like problem solve with her. And then we're both feeling good about it. So thank you.
What you were thinking before was like, this is really annoying. But then your mindset shifted like, I wonder why she does this. That's when I said, like, when we can add curiosity, but like for real, like we don't know why. We won't find out why until you sit with her and ask and create a safe environment for her to tell you what was going on. And so then you guys problem solve together. See, so this concept of pack leadership, it really is all mindset, because if we go into it thinking, why does she have to do annoying things like this? Like, why does she have to be difficult? Or she's constantly making us late? Or why does she have to be, for somebody like me, I don't think this would be you, Diane, because I think you're just naturally sweeter, but I'd be like, why does she have to be such a pain in the ass? But when we're going into it thinking that, then that's the energy we bring, right? And so automatically the other human being, no matter what their age, they're not going to feel like we're seeing them in a positive light. They're not going to feel like we're on their team. And so then they're probably going to double down, and do it more or shut down or whatever it is. And so it's like such a teeny tiny simple example. And it seems like such a teeny tiny simple thing that could have grown into a much different thing if you hadn't been able to so quickly shift your perspective and your mindset, which allowed you to show up in pack leadership energy, right? So I love simple examples like this, because let me tell you something. You are setting the foundation. It's like big deal, little deal. You know how many people with like teenagers Evan can probably attest to this, where parents have made little deals into big deals for so long that now all of a sudden it is a big deal by the time they're teenagers. And then we have teenagers who are tanking in lots of different ways. As I'm sure his coaches have learned, like a kid who is tanking in school, quite often it's not just learning differences. Quite often it's a kid that is shut down, a kid that doesn't have agency because they don't have any confidence, a kid that hasn't been taught the skills, but also hasn't felt safe because they've had felt so misunderstood for so long that they don't feel safe. So therefore they can't access their executive functioning skills. And so it's all connected and related. If parents, when they have little teeny tiny kids like this, could be setting the foundation and really truly stepping in and shifting their mindset into becoming this type of pack leader who doesn't turn a little deal like this, like easy solve. We're going to the yarn store, we're picking out rainbow yarn, and now we're going to have this fun little game that's between the two of us. It's going to be this special thing. She's going to love it. It might end up even turning into, you find it and then you hide it for her. So now that she gets to be the hider and the seeker, who knows what it'll evolve into. But it's like this simple, little kids, little problems. But I promise you, bigger kids, the little problems turn into bigger problems. So I loved this example.
Thanks for listening today, guys. I hope you picked up some tips, tools, maybe some baby steps for creating more balance and boundaries in your life. And I just wanted to let you know, if you want to continue moving the needle forward in creating this for yourself, having a happier household, I want you to go to my website and check out mastermindparenting.com. We have 3 beginning programs, and if you need some accountability and more support, then please look for the one that would be a good fit for you. And as always, we're on all the social channels under Mastermind Parenting. On Instagram, it's mastermind_parenting. And, periodically I do pop up on different Instagram lives, Facebook lives, where I give you teaching and coaching, and I love engaging with you live to help you help your strong-willed kids so that they can feel better, because when they feel better, they do better. And I love getting to know you guys. So thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Super, super appreciative.